Okay, so I have genuinely high hopes for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I am questioning why nobody's talking about this game. So I thought I have to get involved because, I'm such a big YouTuber and I need to give this topic some more exposure. Okay, so why am I creaming my pants at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Well, because Kingdom Come Deliverance might be the best game no one talks about. So in this video, I thought I'd just break down what I thought was good about the game and what needs to be improved. The combat system. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a medieval realism game set in 1400s Bohemia. Here, you will begin your journey as Henry.
Get up or I'll come get you up, you slug of bed.
Okay, so what is Henry's power? Is he some dragonborn or some demigod? Well, no. Henry is just an ordinary boy from a small village in Skalitz. Here, he helps out his blacksmith father and throws shit at houses. None too special about Henry, other than his insane plot armor. All is going good for Henry when all of a sudden... Raiders! They kill both his parents and he escapes to a neighboring castle where he warns them about the incoming invasion.
What in hell's name happened? I'm gonna pull that hair out. All done. Ugh. There you go. Good as new.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man?
Oh damn, she's being very nice. Surely nothing bad will come out of this later. A day passes and we get an introduction to this guy you will never see again.
I'll feed a second.
And Henry is off back to Skalitz to bury his parents. But oh no, bandits are still here and they kill Henry. GG, roll credits. Okay, no, somehow he survives, but he loses his sword, which is like his father's masterwork, so the entire rest of the game will be spent trying to get this amazing sword back. You got saved by the goat, Teresa, and the real game actually begins. You enter your Lord Sir Radzik's service and you get your quest.
Yes, I would. You won't regret it. I probably will.
Standard video game shit. First quest, learn how to use a sword.
I'm here for trade. Let's get to it then.
Okay, so to address the elephant in the room, the combat in this game is sometimes not so very good. There are two major opinions about the combat in the game. Some diehard fans are on absolute copium trying to justify the combat system, saying,
"It's supposed to be hard. Henry has never actually picked up a sword before."
And the other group of absolute shitters are saying that the combat is way too hard and it's super unrealistic for it to be that hard because Henry is supposed to be given some leeway, he's the main character. And I'm here to say, both of these groups are wrong. I'm right. Let me explain. If I showed you some sliders here, realism, fun, difficulty, it's quite hard and even impossible to max out all of them. So I'm pretty sure because the devs were trying to do just that, they ended up actually breaking the entire combat system. During a duel, you have this little star here that represents which way you will swing your sword. In theory, you're supposed to use this to try and swing from the opposite side of your opponent's weapon to make it hard for them to block your attack.
Try to attack from the side the opponent will find harder to block in time. If I'm holding the sword raised up, do an uppercut. My sword is low, lunge.
In practice, it doesn't actually matter. Low-level enemies don't care what you do, and you could just spam overhead attacks like a caveman with a club, and you'll take them down quite easy. Whilst high-level enemies are basically Steven Seagal, because no matter which way you attack, they will make up some bullshit way to turn it around against you.
Hello, hola amigo. I'd like to order dos burritos today.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Then pay with your blood! Oh, can I help you? Goodbye.
No, this isn't a problem with the enemy scaling as much as it is a problem with the combat system itself. A riposte is something you learn later in the game.
Attack me, and I'll show you how it's done.
And it's kind of the only way to win against enemies, other than cheesing them with a bow. So the combat system kind of blows because it punishes you for attacking the enemy, forcing you to just stick to the same formula of walk backwards and press block sometimes. That's no fun. The faults in the combat system really show when you're in group battles. This should be the highlight of the game. You're in a big war with your men, fighting against the enemy. But in practice, you either get jumped by 3 dudes at once, or you just sneak around an enemy and poke him in the back. Pause. Okay, so how do you fix the system? Okay, first off, let me tell you soy boys, the combat is supposed to be hard. That's why I'd give Henry hella debuffs in the beginning, like not being able to swing fast and sometimes not dealing any damage because he used the blunt side of the sword. But as for fixing the actual mechanics, I'd just stick to Murdhouse fighting system, but simpler. Blocking has to get a huge overhaul, like maybe to block, you just need to press block, but for a riposte you have to match the direction of the attack and block.
A chamber is when you mirror your opponent's attack just before it hits. The most simple type of chamber is when your opponent tries to stab you, you start your own stab just before theirs hits.
But then your opponent can also riposte your riposte with like a shorter time window, and then you can riposte his riposte and so on till someone of you fucks up. Just what I mean is, don't make it so a riposte is a guaranteed hit, cause it really sucks when you're just mid-combo and bro hits you with an unblockable cutscene of you getting tossed around. Being able to slow down and speed up your attacks to throw your opponent off, making it harder for parry, might also be cool. And as for the group fighting fix, being able to swing at multiple people at once could be a good idea. And a small visual cue for who's attacking. Now, is that realistic? No. But we're the main character, so like, shut up. I'm not saying give Henry full-on spider sense, but maybe a small light at the side of your screen to signal an attack incoming. Right, that's the elephant in the room taken care of, so as long as they fix that, this game should be perfectly good to go. Now, moving on to the game's strongest points, which is character writing. The characters in this game are genuinely great. Off the top of my mind, I cannot name any game which has more likable and well-written dialogue.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast.
The main characters are greatly written, but side characters have great moments as well.
Admiring the view, my arse. If you ever want to see another view again, I suggest you answer my question.
Ha! I've been more impressively threatened by my sister's baby.
Fuck you.
The dialogue is believable and sometimes genuinely funny, and I think a testament to this game's great writing is Hans.
The gall of him. I'm afraid we don't drink with peasants.
You first see Hans in some cutscenes, but Henry first meets Hans during his sword lesson. And at that moment, it's already on site.
Not the same as holding a hammer, is it, blacksmith?
Hans comes in and calls you a dogshit fencer, and then challenges you to an archery duel.
You going to cry now? Well, I didn't expect that. What are you grinning about?
And if you win, he challenges you to a fencing rematch. And while all of this is going on, he berates you more and more and just fuels your dislike for him.
Come on then. You won't last long. You going to cry now?
Even if you win against him twice, he will still say it's all luck and you're still trash after all.
Don't worry your mangy head about me, peasant.
At this point, he's the character equivalent of someone pressing thumbs down on Brawlhalla. Now, both you and Henry dislike him after this, and that's good. But wait, it gets so much better. Some mission later and you're doing guard duty, closing down the taverns, and oh, Hans is drunk at a tavern past closing time. So, of course, as the great guard you are, you beat him up and throw him out. Yeah, you showed him, but Sir Hanush, who's basically the chief of the town, sees this and calls you a idiot for attacking Hans, because Hans is royalty and technically the real king of the town. So, on technicality, you assaulted a lord in his town. But Hanush also says that Hans is an idiot for being drunk past curfew. So, to mend the situation, he forces y'all to go hunting together. So the next day y'all meet up and you expect Hans to be a dickhead. And he is.
I'm overjoyed.
He insults you and says you'll be following him like a dog because you don't have a horse. But on the way to the hunting place, the most unexpected thing happens. Hans apologizes for fighting you.
Look here, blacksmith. About that business at the alehouse.
Yes, sir?
Hanush was right. I should have behaved differently. More, well, gentlemanly.
This is like the moment which, in my opinion, cemented Hans as the best character in the game. Henry and Hans get to talking and understanding the differences between them. During this talk, their entire relationship changes into more of a friendship.
Well, it's all water under the bridge. Let's not spoil our hunt.
During the hunt, Hans still talks down to you, but now it's more of a banter between you as you both roast each other.
What are you waiting for? Your lord requires you for the hunt.
Really? Such a renowned hunter needs help.
You wouldn't dare mock your betters now, would you?
Heaven forbid, your lordship.
If that's the way you want it, peasant.
You even have a stereotypical but still funny comedy moment.
You want to take him down with an arrow? Certainly, why wouldn't I? You won't kill him like that. Boar is hunted with spears. Is that so? So now all of a sudden you're a master huntsman, are you? Watch and learn. Did you see that? Damn, I'm good. Quiet. So, next time you try to tell me I can't kill a boar with an arrow, you could... Fuck! After him! Fetch! Mount up, Henry. We'll chase down that swine.
Now, after this, Hans runs off chasing the boar. So you get a quest to find him, but Hans channels his inner Houdini, so I kid you not, I spent 20 minutes bumbling around the forest looking for him. You see him chained up to a pole by some humans, aka the guys who raided your village earlier. You face them in very honorable combat and then untie Hans. But you aren't met with any commanding orders of getting him back to the city or insane thankfulness. You're met with more banter which just solidifies how you two became friends.
Now look here, dung grubber.
You get him back to the castle to get him fixed up, and from here on he takes more of a backseat role for most of the game. But still, in my opinion, cement himself as one of the best characters. Some other great characters I want to mention are Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig,
I told you he had balls.
the goat Teresa, and a very close second to the best character is the priest. I will not go into the whole quest since I don't have the time, but I'll just show you this scene and you'll understand why he's amazing.
What have I forgotten? Where the fuck am I? What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me. How? You're the priest.
Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh.
All these great characters lend themselves to what I think the game does exceptionally well. It really immerses you in its world. Henry needs to sleep, eat and repair his gear. And you having to do all of these things really makes you submerge yourself in the world. Like, you have to clean up and sharpen your sword, and whilst using this grindstone right here, I kid you not, I was in the flow state. I was so fucking immersed, I was... Oh my lord. Can I fix it up? Oh, I can! Oh, that's sick. Let's start from the bottom, like you're supposed to, right? And then a bit here. Yeah, I don't think there's much saving in this sword, even with my pristine craftsmanship. Oh my god, 10 out of 10, best game of all time. A big part of this immersion is the map. Now remember, this is a AA studio and the game came out like 6 years ago, so don't expect GTA 6 here. But I do think that the world is pretty well made. The villages look like how I would expect medieval villages to look. Although the settlements are quite far away from each other, I don't mind that, since the horse riding? I don't mind that since the horse riding feels good and the map looks quite pretty. So when you follow the roads around the map, all is well. But the second you veer off road, you get stuck in 30 bushes and somehow end up on the other side of the map. But the biggest issue of the map is that most villages aren't actually worth visiting. Unless you have a quest asking you to go to a specific place in a specific village, most of the time you have no incentive of going to most towns. Like, look at Townbrook. There is literally nothing here. Not a blacksmith, no tailor, no nothing. Nothing? Now, I know there is a lore reason for that, but that doesn't excuse the fact that this entire village is essentially a waste of space. So you'll probably be visiting only 3 villages, and those are Ratay, aka the main big city, Sasso because it's a big village and has everything you need, plus a cool monastery, and Przemysławice if you have the DLC. You don't visit the rest because there is nothing to do there, or like in the case of Ushitz, you just aren't in the area that often. Now, if they make the map bigger in Kingdom Come 2, they gotta give us some reason to visit all the villages. Either make traveling more difficult and dangerous so we're encouraged to make pit stops in smaller villages, or the more time-consuming option, make every village more unique in some way, so we have the reason to visit them repeatedly. Like, give one village a reputation for making the best swords, so if you're a sword fighter you have to go there, or one with the best axes, so if you're an axe fighter you have to go there. Just what I mean is, give us a good reason to explore every single village. But also, it would be cool if more stuff was happening in the open areas. Because although they are pretty, you don't usually have a reason to ever get off your horse and explore. And I know, that's realistic, there probably wasn't that much to do in medieval Europe, but still, let me have my fun, you know? And I really want like a big city like a medieval New York, Old York. I know I'm asking for much, but I beg you, the new Elder Scrolls game isn't coming out till like 2080, so I beg. Kingdom Come doesn't really do skills well, but it doesn't do them badly either. They're just kind of different in this game. Every couple of levels you get a perk point, but these perks aren't really anything that would blow your socks off, usually only giving you a minor boost in some particular area. But you also have to choose between them, since a lot of perks are mutually exclusive, which is fine for realism, but in my opinion it isn't really that fun. Leveling up and getting a dope-ass, maybe slightly broken perk should be a highlight of the game. So when I get to level 318 and I get a perk that lets me do 1% extra damage every other Sunday, I'm sorry to say, but I am kind of underwhelmed. You have your main staple skills like strength, agility, blah 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 blah, and the more unique skills like different weapons, reading, and alchemy. Yes, you do have to learn how to read. It's a full-on quest and a full-on skill tree because Henry does not know how to read. Alchemy in this game is pretty cool for the first 5 minutes. You have this full-on station that lets you feel like a full-blown wizard, tinkering with your herbs and spices, making potions, which is all well and fun till you realize that this whole system lacks polish. If you fuck up one thing, the potion doesn't work and you lose all your ingredients. I understand that makes sense, sort of, but if I boil a fly agaric in vodka, I'm not saying I will make a population-wiping toxin, but I should still be able to make a poison. Another thing is that if you want to make more than one potion, you have to redo the whole process over and over again. And this could so easily be fixed. You're making these by weight, so if you just double up the ingredients, you should be able to make 2 potions at once. And you need a potion to quick save in the game, so you'll spend quite a while at the alchemy bench. Alright, a speed round because I'm trying to get this video done before school starts. Bows. Not having a crosshair is fine, but when Henry's hand shakes like a man with arthritis, it makes it hard to aim. Also, not much for realism when someone can get an arrow through their shoulder and still swing their sword just fine. Stealing and stealth. How the fuck do the guards know what item I've stolen? Like, did the dude engrave his name into the sword? And besides, whatever items you steal don't matter, since the shopkeepers are the real thieves here. I know that reading isn't a common skill in medieval Europe, but apparently maths isn't either. Because even if you sell King Arthur's sword, they'd give you 30 groschen tops, whilst you will need to go into generational debt just to repair your armor. So I hope that Kingdom Come 2 makes the economy feel more fun. But right, is this video at the 10-minute mark yet? It is? Good. No, but all honesty, I just hope Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be as great as I expect. Which I know isn't a good thing to do, because I do hope for a lot from this game. But please let Kingdom Come be a good game. But that will be all for today. Love you, subscribe.